Do you remember the first day you joined Toastmasters? How did it feel after the meeting? Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. Today, I'm going to take you on my journey of becoming an area director of Area 94 and how I plan to use all the lessons I learned in the process to conduct and organize a successful area contest. It all started with me attending my first Toastmaster meeting right here in this room. I was doughy-eyed, I was scared. I didn't know if I could do it. I didn't know if I had it in me to come up here on the stage and speak to an audience. But nonetheless, I immediately put my hand up for table topics, and boom, I gave my first table topic speech in Toastmasters. The time progressed, and my first lesson came when Elsa, the then president of the club, invited Daniel Brewer, the area director, to come to the meeting for our club's anniversary. He was a very nice person. After his speech and after the meeting, I went up to him and asked, Daniel, I'd like to know what you do as an area director. Daniel took me under his wing, explained what the roles and responsibilities of an area director are. I learned all the skills that you get to own and the connections that you form in the process. I was enticed by his magical description of the role. It was that one thing that I wanted to do in Toastmasters then. I asked him, Daniel, can I be your area director for next year if possible? Yeah, sure, but I would like you to start by apprenticing with me and helping me in my role. That was my opportunity. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do anything you want me to do to help you in your role. He asked me to visit clubs, see how they are performing, and write reports at the end of it. That was an easy task, right? So I started visiting different clubs in the area and sending him reports after the club visit. I'd helped him to do his job better. During this process, I realized what Oprah Winfrey has famously quoted. In life, you get what you have the courage to ask for. I had the courage to step up that day and have that conversation with Daniel. And that got me the opportunity of being the area director the subsequent year. As I started visiting the clubs, I realized I needed more mentorship. And that came in the form of the division director, Laurie Anderson. She taught all the area directors what were the roles and responsibilities, and also gave us a schedule of how the year is going to look like. It started with organizing our club visits, then the dates for the area contests, and all the other membership drives and trainings that we had to do for the year. She had started off way early, but having that entire plan for the year in front of me, I was able to make some creative changes in how I did my club visits. Firstly, I started visiting the clubs more regularly now. Instead of just going one time and writing a report and sending it back to them, I became a regular familiar face with the clubs. And then I asked for a meeting with the club officers to help them understand what I put in the report, so I don't feel like a stranger going in and giving them suggestions. And they are more receptive to my feedback. That's where I learned my second lesson. Start early, be late. By be late, I don't mean that you have to do it after the deadline, but before the deadline. When you start early, there is a huge room for creativity where you can improve the processes that you want to happen. And you can end on time. that was me getting my area director reports on time in a very efficient way. Next, I would like to remind you of the speech contest that we had in the club. If you remember, I was the person who was conducting the speech contest and Vivek was the person doing the evaluation contest. The process was the same, but can you spot the difference? Anyone? It was the person doing it. The author had famously quoted in his book, The Go-Giver, the most valuable gift that you can give to anyone is yourself. I learned all the work that we do is replicable, but what makes a difference to the person receiving it? It is the authenticity with which you do it. So the third lesson was be authentic. I plan to use all these 3 lessons and have a wonderful area contest. My vision for the area contest is every single participant, judge, helper, volunteer have an amazingly good time. I know that is a huge goal. A contest is stressful, but I have the courage to ask that I have a successful and a fun contest. And I'm sure that's gonna come to fruition. Next, I plan to start planning the contest early in the cycle. So it gives us a lot of creativity and we get it done on time. In this process, I'm going to use the help of the other area directors and the division director as my guidance committee to help make it happen. Next, I would put myself in my most authentic self and ensure that everyone has a smooth, memorable experience when they come to the contest. Learn these 3 lessons. I urge you all to use these 3 lessons to make small changes in your life and reap the benefits. Thank you.